So in that fights I could do all three different styles, but in like earlier days where I boxed more actively,
Where you might have boxed actual
real boxers, yeah. So I'm definitely like small for my weight, so I always had to be a destroyer. So I had to go into the people, and my cardio was always very good, and I walked forward and destroyed the other people. So what is actually my biggest advantage is that I actually can take hits. So like in the sparrings before we did the fights, I did really good fights, and so it was clear for me that nobody from these guys could knock me out. There's like this is the reason I didn't have a headgear on also, because I thought like what the fuck, they will not hurt me at all. So, and nobody hurt me there. So yeah, but look, this was senseless. I think the funny thing is that Lowtax and Jeff Schneider, the guy from ain'titcool.com, they showed both what retards they are, actually, because everybody knowed from that application since January. And I've wrote, these are real boxing fights, get prepared. And they had three months to prepare themselves, yeah? And I wrote to everybody who came in with an application and said, this is not a show, it's not a stunt, it will be a real boxing match. And everybody agreed to it. And now they say after the boxing matches, I promised not to hit them, it was all a publicity stunt. This is a completely lie. And they actually try whatever. I see the mentality behind that. Like they still try to damage me no matter what the real situation is. And I think that Chris Alexander from Rook Morg and Chance Minter, they both said they noted that was a real boxing fight, and they both trained for it also. And but this shows the whole thing what a lot of internet geeks they have. Like a Harry Knowles, if he has that goal to damage me, no matter what I do, no matter what the movies are, no matter what the quality is, this is his goal, and he thinks he can do it. And he's super protective to his buddies, like basically he supports the Texas filmmakers and this kind of stuff. And I think this is for a guy who says he's a critic, ridiculous, because it has nothing to do with. I think a real critic should be open-minded and should look into a movie and should say, look, a Blood Rain movie is totally different to House of the Dead. And Alone in the Dark is different to Blood Rain. And they cannot say, this are all over Boll movies, all shit, whatever. I think people see that every movie gets better and more interesting, or a better cast and better script, and all movies look good. Even House of the Dead is a good looking movie, how it's made. So, and I think these two guys, they actually show after the fight their real face. And to be honest, Jeff Schneider, he refused even to come to set. This is the funny thing. So you bring a guy in from ain'titcool.com, he's not coming to set here, he's not seeing what we're doing, he's not working. We offered everybody to be an extra on the movie, he refused to be it, he stayed in the hotel. I saw him the first time like 15 minutes before the boxing match. Yeah. So and then he says later, where he was puking on the sidewalk and went under an oxygen tent, so he got really like hurt there, yeah. So, but I told him like, what the fuck you were expecting? Like, you fuckers writing about my movies constantly lies about how I finance the movies, how the movies are, whatever. And now I saw him as a replacement for Harry Knowles. This is ain'titcool.com. So I had no reason to not hit him. So this was the whole thing where I said, like, I want to fight the critics. So what was I expecting? That I say then finally in the end in the ring in front of like 800 people there, like, oh, now I don't hit you because I think you're a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. He's an asshole. Right. Look, I was surprised that the applications came in for the boxing fights, but I said also, like, I have to fight critics. I don't want to mix that thing up. They were like people, they came up, they say, I want to fight you. And I said, yeah, but are you a critic? Are you writing something about it? No. But I want to fight you. And I said, yeah. They said, look, this is not the sense of the event. The event is a director fights his critics. So, and so we kept it like this. This is the old saying, there is no bad press, but I disagree in that if it's like, there's like, you have to see it this way. If there are a lot of negative reviews about a movie, foreign buyers, for example, they use that to lowball the price, that they pay you less for the movie. And this is the thing why it's not good to get bad reviews. It's always important to have some good reviews also. No, I think it went over the top. Also, like, I'm a very critical film looker also. I go and look every movie. And if people tell me they think Elektra is better as Blood Rain or Catwoman, they are retards. They have no idea. And if you go now on IMDb and you see that this movie is getting more points on IMDb, this is a bad sign for that IMDb voting system. Yeah, so I think this is if you show a neutral audience a Blood Rain and an Elektra, Blood Rain will win that. 99% of the people will say Blood Rain was a better movie, but not on the message boards. And this is the thing what is annoying. And Blood Rain just won Best Movie in Spain in the horror festival. So why? This is the thing, like, if the movie is so bad and there are like 20 movies in the competition and then the Spanish people look at the movie and they say it's the best movie of the whole festival. So I think Blood Rain has weakness. They have weak points in Blood Rain, absolutely, but it's far away from being a bad movie. It depends on what you do. Like, I think in House of the Dead there were intentional comic elements in it, yeah, where everybody knows nobody can take this serious. You would not cast Jürgen Prochnow as a boat captain if you think it's serious, or Clint Howard, and on Blood Rain the thing with Meatloaf. It was from the and it's from the beginning on written like a comedian kind of thing, and I think it paid off to have a horror house with vampires, and this is like intentional. I think in a good genre movie is always a kind of humor in it. You need that in movies like this. No, I think a lot of, if you go back in literature, all the movie stories are already written in the 16th, 1700 basically, and what they do is only they reformat it here and they make a comic book out of it here and a video game out of it there, and but the basic stories are always the same. They always worked in the past with novels, and in the beginning where like Gutenberg developed the book printing, and then they started distributing like ghost novels and everything on the marketplaces in 400 or 500 years ago. So, and it all comes from there. And I think video games are like kind of best-selling books today because the young people are more like into playing video games, for example, reading comic books, compared to old books where nobody understands the language anymore. And the point is, if people asking me, like, if you are a doctor of literature, why you don't make art house movies, or why you don't make like that big whatever movies with like tons of reasons about what's going on in the world, whatever. I think genre movies are the movies actually surviving film history. Like, there are tons of movies made, they were like super interesting in the 50s or 60s, all the French movies, for example, Jean-Luc Godard and all that people, but everybody gives a shit about that people now. And the John Ford Western still stay. And a John Ford Western, in 100 years people will see that movie. And this is the thing why I believe in genre movies. I think genre movies are archetypes, and they can show way more about the situation, what's going on in the world, as all that festival movies. The Living Dead. Yeah. No, I think YouTube is in general very good because you have like a technical perfectly set up to post even longer movies, and the Loose Change movie, for example, about the September 11, without YouTube maybe nobody would ever see that, because if you download that movie it takes forever if you do it on your own. So on YouTube you can stream it anytime you want and discuss the subject matter. So I think YouTube is very good, as long not my feature movies are all on YouTube for free. Yeah.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't talk smack about your horror films. Thank you very much. Just knock the gloves there, I guess. Thank you. Again, yeah.
Look, with that performance you are already better as a competitor. So.